Hi students, welcome to Doubt Shout. To continue with our series of most likely questions for your upcoming international maths exam, today we're going to solve a 12 marker questions from May-June 2022 paper, and it belongs to a topic bearings, or you can call it to be the major topic as trigonometry. So the diagram shows a route of the ship between the three ports A, B and C here. The bearing B from A is 0.55, that is displayed here, and the bearing of the point C from B is 120 degree, that is also displayed here. The ship takes 7 hours to sail from A to B, so it is going to take 7 hours to cover up this much distance, and it is sailing at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour. We got to find out the distance AB. Now, since we know the speed is 20 kilometers per hour and it also takes 7 hours, so we got to use a distance formula for AB. Distance is also equals to speed into time. Distance is basically speed into time. The speed out here is 20 kmph, so keep it 20. The time is 7 hours, so 20 into 7. So the total distance covered is 140 kilometers. That was fairly simple. Now show that the angle ABC is 115 marks, and look at this question. This question is for 1 mark only. That is why there is no need to look for sine rule or cosine rule. With a simple parallel lines, you can show this question. Since you know that this angle is 55 degree, this north line and this north line are going to be parallel to each other. Therefore, we can say that this angle is going to be 180 degree minus 55. The reason being these two angles add up to 180. They are basically the co-interior angles of parallel lines. So 180 minus 55, that's going to be 125. So this angle is 125. Now they are asking the angle ABC, which is this. The total here should be 360 degree because that's a point. So you're going to subtract 360. You're going to subtract 125 and 120 from 360 degree. If we do so, we get 360 degree minus 245, and that will be how much? 115 degree only. Okay, this is part of the B. So 115 degrees the angle ABC. Alright, calculate the distance AC. Now to calculate this distance, if we focus in the triangle, we have the two distance available. The distance AB we had found in the part A, that was 140. Then BC is already given to be 65. We have shown that this angle is 115. And we got to find out the distance AC. So a simple cosine rule can solve this entire thing. So if we apply the formula for the cosine rule, here AC is going to be equal to square root of AB squared plus BC squared minus 2 times of the distance AB into the distance BC into cos of theta, which is the cos of angle B out here. So if we fill up the values, we get 140 square plus 65 squared minus 2 times of 140 into 65 into cos of 115 degree. Make sure that your calc remains in the degree mode while you're putting this expression on your GDC. So you can use a GDC and calculate this. I'm also doing the same on my GDC. So 140 square under root of 140 squared plus 65 square minus 2 times of 140 into 65 into cos of 150. What I get is 177.5. 177.529. I have to express this answer till 3SF, so I will take it as 178 kilometers. Perfect. Going ahead, calculate the bearing of A from C, and that is a 4 marker. Let me copy the diagram here. So that we can see it better. Yeah, we got to calculate the bearing of point A from C. So it is taken from the point C. I'm going to drop a north direction at the point C, and the bearing of point A from C would be this angle, the angle which I'm just drawing, because the bearing is always taken from the north direction, and that too in clockwise direction. Now to find out this angle, we need to find out how much will be this and how much is this. Since this is 120, using the property of the co-interior angle, we can say that this is going to be 60 degree. We don't know how much is this inside of the triangle, so let's call that to be theta. We had already found the side AB is going to be 140. We have already found the side AC is basically 178, and this angle was also 115 degree. So we can use a sine rule to work upon theta, and once we find theta, we will be easily able to find out the bearing. So let's work upon theta. Sine rule, sine theta divided by its opposite side. Its opposite side is 140. The other angle which I know from the triangle is sine of 115 divided by this side, which is 178. This has been a rounded off answers. I'm going to use the exact value for this calculations. So I'm going to take it as 177.529. All right. So if I type it on the calci and look for theta, your sine theta value will be equal to 140 times all of these sine of 115 divided by 177.529, and then I can take sine inverse of it. So shift sine inverse and type this, which is 140 multiplied by sine of 115 divided by, shift answer is also available on a calci. I get 45.61. 45.61 degree is this angle theta, which is one of the angle of the triangle. Now the bearing which I'm looking for, the bearing of the point A from the point C, that is going to be all of the 360 degree subtracted by the addition of the angle which I just found it to be 45.61 plus 60 degree. So basically I'm taking this angle and subtracting it from all of the 360 degree so that I get the required bearing. So 360 degree minus 45.61 minus 60 degree gives me 254.38. So it is equal to 254.38, and the bearing has to be represented with a 3-digit. So I will make it as 254 only. So 254 degree is the bearing of the point A from the point C. Not difficult. Then the last part. The ship takes 3.6 hours to sail from B to C. It then sails from C to A at a speed of 21.5 kilometers per hour. Find the average speed of the complete journey from A to B, B to C, and then back to A. Alright, so the total, basically the average speed has to be considered to be the total distance of the entire journey over the total time taken. Total time taken. Now the average speed here is the total distance over total time. So total distance is basically the distance of AB, which we know, the distance of BC, which we know, and the distance of AC, which we also know, upon the total time taken. The time taken from A to B that was given earlier in the question, that was basically 7 hours. So that is 7 hours plus the total time taken to cover up BC is 3.6 hours. That's also given. And the total time taken to cover up AC is not given, but we know the speed and we know the distance. So the total time taken out here is 178 divided by 21.5. Basically, time is distance over speed. Alright, and let me put the distances also. So the distance of AB was 140 plus the distance of BC was 65 plus the distance of AC is 178 divided by the total time is 7 plus 3.6 and the time taken here is 178.21.5. You can type it on the calci, you get an answer. So I'm getting 7 plus. The answer I have got is 20.28. 20.28 hours. Approximately, my bad, this is the speed. So it has to be the unit kmph. It is approximately, I can consider to be just 20.3 kmph. This approximation is still 3SF. Your all answers has to be 3 significant figures unless it's not an angle or some other thing which is specified to be rounded off to 1 dp or 2 dp. Otherwise, keep it till 3SF. So that is it. That is it, guys. I hope you have understood this question. If you really like my previous videos, please give a like and do subscribe the channel in order to get the notification when I put any question on my channel. Thank you so much. See you on the other side. Bye bye. Take care.